A school went into lockdown after an open carry dad kept showing up with a gun. A gun-toting parent gave what I'm calling an early holiday gift to the children and staff at Lillian Fletcher Elementary School in Homer, Michigan. That gift was a school-wide lockdown. The man showed up on Friday with a holstered gun. Then, having already been told maybe you don't want to bring the gun to school, he showed up again on Monday, and the school went into a lockdown. And police have been on the record as saying, we told him this isn't really a good thing. Even though it might be one of your rights, it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Yes, earlier this week, the man came back to the school to discuss the incident that happened on Friday with the gun again, and ultimately a lockdown was triggered. Lewis, you've talked about your lack of interest in having children, but when you have sort of hypothesized about what you would do as a parent, you do share some concern for violence in schools. If you found out that there was an open carry dad showing up with a gun weekly or even multiple times a week, how would that impact your desire to have your kid at that school?
I wouldn't like it.
Right.
I mean, I would say to the school that you should make the school a gun-free zone if it isn't already.
Well, that's going to make it a sitting target. They will be sitting ducks for a shooter, Lewis, because as we know from people like the NRA and the gun owners of America, anytime you set up a gun-free zone, that's where you will have people do the shootings.
Yeah, I think these shooters are going to wreak havoc no matter what the laws are. We need to use gun control laws to make it harder for them. But if someone wants to do damage, damage will be done. And, I think that clearly when you have someone, in this case, you're just creating confusion, unintentionally creating chaos. And what's the point,
I really don't get it. An open carry is one of those situations that really helps to illustrate the racial disparities that exist in this country. People of all races obviously get away with open carry. They do it legally, etc. If you are white, you are way more likely not to trigger a police incident when you walk around with a gun versus being black or looking Muslim or traditionally Middle Eastern. When the white open carry group of 10 dudes showed up at, I don't remember if it was Chili's or Outback Steakhouse or Applebee's or whatever it was, with rifles, the managers very politely asked them to leave because it was upsetting some of the customers and they don't want guns there. And yeah, some of the customers didn't like it. Can you imagine for a second if a group of Muslim immigrants from Pakistan showed up at a Wendy's all carrying guns? I don't think the reaction is going to be, number one, not involving police, and number two, the management just calmly saying, hey, some of our customers, they're not loving the fact that you guys have the rifles out here. Maybe we could get you to-go orders or something like that. No, it's going to go very differently.
Yeah, the SWAT team would be en route in a matter of minutes. And, there might end up being an exchange of gunfire when otherwise there wouldn't. So, but I can still see the situation we talked about right here at this school. Imagine if someone just panicked,
right,
called 911 in a panicked state, and said something that, well, in their mind, they thought might have been true, that there's a shooter here.
Right.
Boom, Dave, the situation would have been much worse.
If not a shooter, they would accurately be able to say there's a gunman, right? I mean, there is a man with a gun at the school. That would be true.
That's a gunman.